Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Arm channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to show you why main gaining is the same as lean bulking. Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. All right, before we start, let's watch a clip by Greg Doucette on main gaining.
I posted this on Instagram. You won't have to cut if you don't bulk in the first place. If you bulk, you're eventually going to have to cut. The reason people are bulking is because they're trying to put on more muscle. And does bulking put on more muscle? Yes. So what does Coach Greg advise? Don't bulk, don't cut. Main gain. And by main gain, I mean maintain your body fat at the same level while building muscle. Coach Greg, I'm 9% body fat. If I'm happy with that, I keep my body fat at 9% while building muscle or while getting stronger.
All right, so a lot to unpack here. Basically, I wanted to frame this video by showing Greg Doucette's own words and what he's talking about. He's basically, don't bulk, don't cut. And then he goes on to say, yes, bulking can give you a little bit more muscle. But Greg says, don't bulk, don't cut. At the end, that's the important point we're going to focus on this video. He says, if you're happy at your body fat percentage, keep your body fat percentage the same and build muscle. So I'm going to dive into that in this video. I'm going to show you guys the math. I'm going to show you guys why this concept is no different in the real world than lean bulking. All right, a lot of people get main gaining wrong. So I want to start the conversation by saying that main gaining does not mean staying at the same body weight. There's a lot of guys out there that think, I'm going to main gain. I'm going to stay at the same body weight and I'm just going to gain 20 pounds of muscle, lose 20 pounds of fat. That's not what Greg is saying here. Greg is saying main gaining means remaining at the same body fat percentage, not at the same weight. This is a subtle distinction, but when it comes to looking at the math, when it comes to looking at what this means in the real world, this is an important distinction. Now, the question becomes, is it possible to gain muscle while remaining at the same weight and not bulking? Let's look at an example. All right, so here we have lifter A, and lifter A is, for the sake of discussion, we're going to say lifter A is about 180 pounds and 18% body fat. So if lifter A wanted to stay at the same weight, not gain weight, but gain 20 pounds of muscle, what would that mean in the real world? Well, lifter A at 180 pounds has about 32.4 pounds of fat and about 147.6 pounds of lean body mass. Now, lean body mass is basically everything in the body minus fat. So if lifter A wanted to stay at the same body weight, he would have to get down to about 12.4 pounds of fat, and his lean body mass would go up to about 167.6. So basically, he would end up at about 5% body fat at 180 pounds. Now, obviously, this is an absolutely ridiculous goal. You simply cannot gain 20 pounds of mass while shredding down to 5% or 6% body fat. So in the real world, this is not going to happen. This whole concept that some have picked up, or the misguided opinion or misguided belief of what main gaining is, that somehow it's maintaining your body weight while gaining 20 pounds of mass and losing 20 pounds of fat and getting down to like 5 to 6% body fat is ridiculous. Again, it's important to make this distinction because if we believe we have to stay at the same weight, there's no weight gain involved. Main gaining is staying at the same body fat percentage. And when we look at the math, if you're going to build muscle and you're going to stay at the same body fat percentage, I'm going to show you guys why you have to gain weight, why in the real world it's going to be the same as a wisely constructed lean bulk. All right, so lifter A decides to main gain. He's going to gain 20 pounds of muscle. That's his goal. Doesn't matter the time frame. So he wants to keep his body fat around 18%. What would be the end result? Now, to remain at 18% and gain 20 pounds of muscle, and again, we're not nailing this down to a specific time frame. His goal could be 18 months or it could be 4 years. To remain at 18% and gain 20 pounds of muscle, lifter A would end up at 204.4 pounds of scale weight, about 36.8 pounds of fat, and a lean body mass of 167.6. And this is a key number we need to focus on here. So lifter A managed to gain 20 pounds of muscle. Let's dive into the specific numbers and see exactly what happened. During this time, because lifter A is maintaining the same body fat percentage at 18%, he gained a total of 24.4 pounds of scale weight. That would include 4.4 pounds of fat and 20 pounds of muscle. So nearly a 25-pound weight gain over the course of trying to gain 20 pounds of muscle. This would be excellent if you could remain that lean right at 18% and only gain 4.4 pounds of fat while gaining 20 pounds of muscle. That would be super impressive. I have to add that doing something like this is extremely rare. It's nearly impossible. You're walking such a fine line. Gaining 20 pounds of muscle is difficult to begin with, but to do so while keeping your body fat percentage super low and barely gaining any fat, it's going to be absolutely an insane accomplishment. So my opinion of how difficult it would be to achieve this aside, the question that needs to be answered is, how can this main gain be accomplished? Greg Doucette says, don't bulk, don't cut, right? Don't bulk, don't cut. We're just going to main gain and stay at the same body fat percentage. Just main gain and stay at the same body fat percentage. So that's fair enough. But if we're going to do that, the question becomes, how do we do that? How do we stay at the same body fat percentage, like this lifter, manage to gain 24.4 pounds? What is the process? How do we approach that? I'm about to show you why it's exactly the same as doing a lean bulk. Now, we've established that main gaining is not about keeping the same scale weight. It's about keeping the same body fat percentage. So we're going to have to gain weight over time to put on our 20 pounds of muscle. We just showed with our example, we're going to need to gain about 24.4 pounds of weight. So we're going to need to monitor the scale. We need to make sure that the scale is moving up according to our weight goals. What does this mean? Well, maybe you want to gain 20 pounds of muscle over 18 months. Maybe you want to gain 20 pounds of muscle over 4 years. It doesn't matter. The rate doesn't matter here. We're still, whatever our end goal is, we're going to have to monitor the scale to make sure our weight is moving up. Now, to do so, we don't need to worry about maintenance calories or are we bulking or eating in a surplus. We can set all that aside because we know there is one variable that's important here when it comes to Greg Doucette's main gaining, and that is the scale has to go up 24.4 pounds in this example. So we don't have to worry about calories. We don't have to worry about our maintenance calories. We don't have to worry about if that's a bulk or a cut, right? All we have to worry about is that the scale is moving up. If the scale is not moving up, then we have to increase our calories to reach our main gaining goals. Does that make sense? We don't have to worry about maintenance calories. We don't have to worry about whether we're in a bulk or cut. We just have to worry if that scale is going up so we can maintain 18% body fat. And if the scale is not moving up, we add calories. Now, if your weight is not moving up, we will not arrive at our main gaining goals. So adjustments must be made. How can we be assured that our weight gain is keeping us perfectly at 18%? This is a big question. We can't, because this is a fairy tale. No one can diet with this precision. There's going to be a little bit of variability. So we arrive right back at the concept of a moderate lean bulk. Let me explain this a little bit better. We're trying to main gain and stay perfectly at 18%. No one can do that perfectly. There's going to be some variability. There's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be a little bit of imprecision. And the reason why I say we arrive right back at the concept of a moderate lean bulk is a moderate lean bulk is going to have imprecision as well. If you look at this closely, a main gaining process is going to be the same as a lean bulking process. You're going to have to gain weight over time. You're going to have to make adjustments. There's going to be some imprecision. There's going to be some dialing in. And either one of these processes, whatever you call it, a lean bulk or main gaining, you're going to have to make adjustments to make sure that rate of weight gain stays steady, stays right where you want it to be. So however you label things, whether you want to call it a lean bulk or main gaining, you're going to have to gain weight. You're going to have to make adjustments. We don't have to worry about the concept of a bulk or a cut, right? Because it's all about the weight gain and it's all about hitting our end target. You can kind of see the concept of main gaining falls apart a little bit because if you want to stay at 18% and gain 20 pounds of muscle, look at our example. The lifter gained 24.4 pounds, right? He gained a little bit of fat. Folks, that's a bulk. You can't say you don't bulk and cut, like Greg just said. If you're going to gain weight, you're going to have to gain scale weight, whatever you want to call it. If you don't want to call that a bulk, if you want to call that main gaining, fine. But it's exactly the same process as a lean bulk. Now, because the process of main gaining can't be done with 100% precision, and let's be real here, no one can be 100%. You just can't say stay at 18% body fat and then we'll perfectly gain 20 pounds of muscle and only gain 4.4 pounds of fat. That's a fairy tale. No one can diet with that form of precision. It truly is no different than a wisely constructed conservative lean bulk based on how fast we want to gain weight or muscle. The process of adding calories to achieve a desired rate of weight gain is the same as bulking. I repeat, the process of adding calories to achieve your desired main gaining rate of weight gain is going to be the same as bulking. It's the same damn process. It provides the same variability as bulking. What do I mean by variability? I mean that you can want to gain 20 pounds of muscle and you can want to stay at 18% body fat, but there's going to be some variability. I can get up and say, I'm going to make a video and I want 98.9% to like the video, or I hope that 60% will give it a thumbs up. But having a goal is different than what happens in reality. You can have a target, but in reality, when you get in the gym, you're training, you're eating, you're not going to stay perfectly at 18%. To believe otherwise is to believe you have some God tier level of precision when it comes to training and dieting. So I hope this video makes sense. I really want to show you guys that when we look at main gaining, it's really going to be no different than lean bulking. Bulking has a bad stigma. We tend to associate bulking with fat bulking, which is not the case. In my book, Massive Bulking, I talk about having a very controlled rate of weight gain. We try to gain about 10 pounds over 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months, and then we do a reassessment. Greg's concept that you never do a bulk and never do a cut falls apart when you look at the fact that you have to gain weight over the course of a period of time to reach your muscle building goals. Greg is not trying to keep you at the same weight. He's trying to keep you at the same body fat percentage. And when we look at the math, that's going to basically be the same as a wisely constructed lean bulk. Now, the whole idea that we should never ever cut is a little bit silly. Most of us do a few cutting diets over the course of our lifting lifetime. We want to dial in things. No human being is perfectly precise with their nutrition, or very few of us are perfectly precise with our nutrition day in and day out for years on end. Having a few small mini cuts over the course of a couple years is not a big deal. Because of the inherent variability in lean bulking or main gaining, because there's some imprecision involved, you're probably going to have to do a cut either way. You can sit on video and say, we're not going to bulk and we're not going to cut. But because of the imprecision of the weight gaining process, you're probably going to have to do a little bit of a cut eventually. And it shouldn't take you that much time away from the gym. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.